How's it going, everybody? Johnny Styles here with the Wellness Observer Live. It is May 16th, 2022. We got a lot of news for you, so let's get right to it. This weekend, it was the NPC Junior USA's in Charleston, South Carolina. And as you guys saw, I posted it in the Wellness Observer Live on Instagram that I wasn't really impressed about the competition, and I totally expected a little bit more. But before we get into that, I also waited a little bit longer to do this podcast on a Monday because I was waiting for the New York Pro List, which I got, and we're going to talk about it a little bit later on. But first of all, thank you guys for the support on the podcast. As you know, now it's on Spotify. iTunes is almost there. I got approved. So now we got to wait till iTunes gets that out of the way. And on YouTube, of course, so you can watch videos as I talk about the competitors and you can see video and pictures. Spotify sent me a cool message. So apparently now you can upload videos on Spotify as well. And if you're watching videos on Spotify and you decide to do cardio, you can also hear them and lock your phone and it won't shut the audio off. So that's a really cool thing about Spotify. I want to thank them for that. And again, expect more shows on Mondays and Wednesdays because now on Wednesday I can, see a little bit more what's going to happen with the New York Pro. But coming back to the NPC Junior USA's, again, I wasn't really impressed with the quality of competitors. I expected a little bit more, especially some of the girls that I knew were doing the show. And I'm not going to sit here and talk about each and every single competitor. I'm going to talk about two girls that I was really impressed by it. Here I can show you straight up pictures you can see, especially on NPC News Online, shot by Dan Ray. This is the overall, but I'm not going to talk about the overall right now. I'm going to talk about one of the competitors that really impressed me a lot. All right. And this is none other than Amanda Burnett. She placed third in Class B. I liked her a lot. Great color, great presentation. She had one of the best, overall physiques. It really did surprise me to see her in third place. Her abs were great. And she had the size for it, especially from the back. You can see the glute ham tie-in and the calves and, the overall size to her. I was really, really impressed to see her, especially in that spot, honestly. It's one of those things that, I'll say this more than in a few shows, and you'll hear me say the judges can only judge what's in front of them. And when the judges are there, probably they don't see what we see in pictures. But I liked her presentation a lot. I think she can really do battle. She could definitely make another show and place very, very well. As you can see, she's not as hard, but she's not as soft either. I really like her presentation. In the same class, we have Suse Urida. She placed fourth, right behind Amanda. And I really had high hopes for her because I've seen her go from the off season straight to the super shredded on season. It's one of those things that you never know what's going to happen come show day. She definitely brought in conditioning on the top, upper body, but on the lower body, it seems like she wasn't really there, especially from the back, as we'll see in a second. But she does have that round glute, ham, and quads. She does have the size, trust me. But I think when she turned to the back, this is where it really did fail her. She wasn't as hard as we've seen her before. And I think the judges wanted to see her harder. I think if she was harder, she would have won this class, no doubt. It's one of those things that, again, once you're there, you don't know exactly how you're going to show up, especially the lighting and all these things. A lot of things play into consideration. But Suse is a great competitor. I'm telling you right now, she does have what it takes to move up to the IFBB Pro League. The problem with her is that maybe she wanted to come in a little bit softer. And by doing that, she ended up looking a little bit way too soft, basically. So it's one of those things that, she has to come back. She's already there. She has the size. She has the quality muscle for it. And I think she'll be better little by little. It's one of those things that, again, she has to try again. But I like her. I like the whole presentation. I really did like what she brought to the table. She could be a little bit harder. It's one of those things that she has to. She has to be a little bit harder. Now we go to the overall. And it's one of those things that I have to talk about because you guys heard me. And this is the overall right here. To the far left, we have Jenna the Manicure. I hope I'm saying all these names right. In blue, we have Hayley Johnson. Right next to her, we have Melitza Guerrero. And then we have Brianna Compton. All these girls look great, honestly. Can they look a little bit better? Of course. But if you're going to go round by round, I think we're going to go on this front pose. On this front pose, I really liked Jenna the Manicure on the far left. I like her presentation. I like her structure. And compared to Hayley Johnson, which it looks like her midsection is a little bit distended, in my opinion, and at least in this shot. And then you got Melitza right here, which looks totally figure-ish to me in this shot. Her upper body, her delt, her lats are way, way flaring up. So I would tell her to like lower her upper body. She looks way figure-ish in this one. And then we have Brianna, which kind of looks like the same body as Jenna. I would love to see them compare those two. If you're gonna go to the quarter turns, let me show you right here. In the quarter turns, you can see where Jenna outpowers pretty much everybody in her glutes and in her quads. If you see the difference between Jenna and Hayley right there. With Melitza, you can see that her glutes are not there compared to these competitors I'm telling you right now. Now, Brianna has great lower glutes. You can see that right there. But she still needs a little bit more upper glutes. That's all I'm going to say about this shot right here, because honestly, the roundness of Jenna really stands out in this shot right here. As we go to the back, you can see again the glute ham tie-in in the calves from Jenna. I like her structure for wellness a little bit better than Hayley Johnson. I'm not saying Hayley Johnson is bad. I'm just saying that I like Jenna better. With Melitza, she has a great back shot. I'm not going to argue that. Can she still do a little bit more calves? Absolutely. With Brianna, again, look at Brianna and look at Jenna to the far left and to the far right. If you see them both, they're very, very similar. Now, here's where you see that Jenna has a little bit more conditioning than Brianna. And that's why I would give her the edge in that shot. Now, on the other quarter turn, you can see kind of the same thing that I was telling you guys about. When you see the glutes from Jenna, you can see the actual roundness. And, compared to Hayley, I could see something there. But you could see the glutes, the hams, and the quads. And then you can see Hayley's glutes, hams, and quads. And you can see a slight difference, especially in that shot. Again, Hayley's midsection is in, and Jenna's midsection is in, and Hayley Johnson midsection is a little bit distended. Now, let's see what else I can give you guys right here, because if you're watching, you know that I'm critiquing this every single step of the way. I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about Hayley Johnson, which is the one that the judges picked for the overall title. The thing that I see with Jenna is she's a very pretty girl. She knows how to stand. She knows how to present herself. Thing is that I would like to see her a little bit with more quads, more outer quads, more than anything. Because if you ask me right now, is Hayley ready for the IFBB Pro League? In my opinion, I don't think she is. I think she still needs a little more size. Can she do her pro debut this year? Absolutely. Maybe down the road, maybe 4 months from now, maybe the Texas Pro, maybe later on the Tampa Pro. These shows that she might get better as time passes on. Let me remind you guys that all of these girls did win their pro card. They're ready for the Pro League. But in my opinion, I think Hayley still needed to be a little bit harder. But again, like if you see her upper body is completely fine for wellness. And from the back, you can see she does have glutes. She does have quads from the back. She does have calves-ish. She could be a little bit better in the calves. And she could be a little bit harder. But again, this is what I'm keep telling you guys. The judges have to judge whatever they had in front of them. So for them to pick her as the winner, I have to respect that. I might not like the decision, but I have my opinions. They have their opinions. We have to respect that. One thing I'll say about it, this shot is great on her. One more time, you can see her midsection is a little bit distended. But, that tattoo on that glute can be a little bit distracting. I know Liquid Sunrays offers a tattoo remover for the shows. That's great job on Liquid Sunrays. You can get more information on liquidsunrays.com. But it might be a little bit distracting when you start competing in high-level shows. Again, this is just my opinion on her. It doesn't mean that it's going to damage her. It's just, my opinion on her. When we go to Jenna, which I had her winning, in my opinion, I had her winning the overall. I like her structure. I like that she's not too big on the top. This pose can be a little bit better. She can be a little bit harder on the quads, especially from the front shot. And then, her quarter turn, you can see she has great glutes. And again, it's a matter of getting that hardness in the lower body. I like her from the back as well. As you can see in a second here, that's the same side angle pose, but she looks great. She looks all around. She looks great. Now, if you turn to the back, you can see that she did have conditioning from the back. You can see the glute ham tie-in. You can see the teardrop right there. Coloring was good. Presentation was good. So in a sense, all these girls won, but I wouldn't have any problem with her winning the overall. I wouldn't have a problem at all. As you see with the big difference between her and Hayley is because the midsection, as you can see, her midsection was in the entire time. And I liked her a lot. I liked her presentation. I thought she looked really good. And if you ask me, is she ready for the Pro League? I think she has the size to go to a pro show. She does have to get the conditioning, though. She does have to get a little bit harder. We need to see more lines, especially in this shot on that left leg, on the quads. All these girls, if you see the overall shot, all these girls needed to be harder, in my opinion, to really stand out, especially in this shot. If you're gonna go to the Pro League, of course, you'll see that the hardness is a little bit harder, all pun intended. And with that, I would like to, extend at least to Amanda and Suse, you guys are already in pretty good shape. You just got to keep on doing the show, and you got to keep, looking for shows, because you're really this close into achieving your all-in pro card for the IFBB Pro League. Now, I waited the entire day to do this podcast for you guys in order for me to talk about the lineup of the New York Pro. And it's really impressed me to just see only 5 names in the prestigious New York Pro. That's something that I never, ever intended in my life that I would see, especially for an amazing show and a top-level show, top-tier level show. We got Sonny Andrews, Madison Luna, Jasmine Payne, Julian Winston, and Raphael Zen. Anything is possible, and we will have to wait until Wednesday, so I'll do another show and another breakdown on the actual lineup that, things might change. I think there's another girl there that I don't see her name, and she might jump in the show, or something happened, or she's not on the list right now. That I know of, at least 2 girls are supposed to be added to this list. So that's why right now I can't break this down like I wanted to. But if you ask me, it's between Sonny Andrews and Raphael Zen. If you haven't seen her in person, you're in for a show. I don't want to say she's similar to Sonny, but she does bring in really good conditioning straight from Brazil. But it's one of those things. I'm in shock. I'm in shock, and I cannot believe that we only have 5 wellness superstars here in New York Pro. A lot of you has asked me if Angela Borges was going to do the show out of nowhere, and I really don't think so. But a lot of you sent me this picture of Angela with her Ross bags in order for me to say, hey, she's back in the United States. She's back in Florida. She's probably going to be living in Florida. So I don't know. But if that's a recent picture from her, I don't think she looks ready to step on stage. I really think that she's back. If she's back, she's going to be probably prepping here and doing more shows in America before the Olympia. But I really don't think that's the Angela Borges that we are used to seeing on stage, or at least if that's a recent picture, I don't think it's going to be some type of body that we're going to be seeing on the New York Pro stage. It really sucks because, again, not Angela, not Jarisha. We're not going to get a rematch from last year's New York Pro. And a lot of people were expecting that, especially with the new blood coming in and the new IFBB Pro athletes. So I don't know what they're waiting for, all these other athletes. I would like to see more girls doing shows. If this doesn't happen, promoters are not going to add the class to their shows. I told you guys 2-3 weeks ago, we have to start competing. You guys have to start competing. You see, right now we have a couple names that I remember, Yarishna said it, and I don't know, Franciola I think said it as well. But Franciola is from Brazil. She's probably going to do the Olympia, and it's going to be her show. But girls like Jarishna and, Sunny have to have in mind, you know what? If I want to be the best and I'm going to keep showing up, I want to do all these shows. I want to step in all these stages and see where I'm at. Either if I win, if I lose, it don't matter, because that's the only way you can get better. That's the only way that you know what you're failing at. And it also proves you as feedback on the things you're doing wrong, especially on presentation, on the timing of your tanning, your makeup, your hair, everything. Because when the time comes and you need to have everything in order for you to realize that things happen and emergency happens and things happen on shows that you might not have control of. One thing I'll say for sure, if Sunny comes in like she did in Pittsburgh, she might win the show. If she comes in better, I don't think nobody's beating her, because again, now she has had more time to properly, get really, really shredded and hard in order for her to fill out. I saw a post earlier from the reigning women's physique Olympia, Sarah, and she had a post where she was talking about that she doesn't post her glutes striated and when she's freaky dry, because people tend to think that you have to get in shape like that crazy, that hard. And again, it's not because of that. That's the level of conditioning she needs to bring 2-3 weeks out from a show in order for her to fill out properly, in order for her to bring the look that she wants to achieve. That's why when you see some competitors getting freaky dry, freaky hard a week out from a show, you're like, oh my God, I got to get so hard. But in reality, you just need to get that hard in order for them to fill up sufficiently to achieve that look on stage. So I think Sunny has had more time to get extra harder and to nail her conditioning in order for her to fill up and look the way she wants to look. Big, round, full, with all the proper lines. Again, her posing needs to get better. And the only way she'll get better is if she keeps doing all these shows. And similar to Ashley Kaltwasser, if Sunny keeps doing all the shows, she'll keep collecting the money and she'll keep winning all the prestigious titles. If she wins New York Pro, think about it. She'll be the Pittsburgh Pro and the New York Pro champion. How many people can say that? Especially in this class, which is brand new. I'm really excited to see Raphael Zen on stage, and it's gonna be a show to see. Wait for the Wednesday show because I'll be breaking down. Hopefully by then we'll be adding I want to say three, I want to say four names into this lineup, and maybe just maybe when competitors see this list, which you can check out at IFBBProLeague.com, IFBBPro.com. People are gonna be, I don't know, motivated to do the show. Maybe, I don't know. I really don't know. Again, I don't know why these girls are waiting. The Olympia's really far away, and I don't know. I really don't know. The New York Pro title is one title that has had the history of doing great by the competitors that win. You know, it's one of those things that the Pittsburgh Pro Champion and the New York Pro Champion usually do very, 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 very well at the Olympia. All right, that's going to do it for this episode of the Wellness Observer Live. Thank you guys so much for joining me here. And remember, this is going to be listened to on Spotify, YouTube, and it's supposed to be on iTunes very, very soon. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Who do you think might win the New York Pro? Let me know, because on Wednesday, we'll be breaking down all these 5, 6, maybe 7 names. This has been Johnny Styles, the Godfather of Wellness.